All right, guys. So I totally forgot to record my last analysis that I just did. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a quick review of what I did. Have all the pairs that I've done. I've listed them down so I could just go through them real quick. And I already have them all charted up. So if you miss it, then hey, just rewind it so you could listen back. But I'm just going to go through it real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. Share. And turn off my video real quick. All right, so DXY. I expect the DXY to go bullish. The DXY, I don't know why this is on a 1 hour when I want it on the 4 hour. I'm on the daily, but the DXY has been consolidating a lot for the past couple of days, for like the past 2 weeks now. And so what I expected to do is not only just come up over here, but I do want to see, oops, let me just stretch this out. I do want to see this actually, you can't stretch, oh, it's a squiggle, that's why, like a little, not an arrow. So I do want to see it come back up here because, like I said, as it's been doing, it's just been consolidating. I wouldn't be surprised if price came back down over here to these lows to retest it before climbing back up. But yeah, that's most likely what I want to see on the DXY. EURUSD. Kind of the same thing. Want to see it reject off of this point where it's at to potentially look for a sell if it's, I don't know what happened. There you go. That's what I wanted to see. Want to see how it's going to react at this 1.18484 area to see if it's going to continue selling. It's at the 4 hour upper danger zone. So I'm just watching out to see if it's going to reject off of here and continue falling. On my stop loss on EURUSD had hit break even. So just watching for what happens right here. Again, just like how the DXY, I do have it. I'm looking to see if it's going to come back up over here like at 1.19 to drop back down to these lows right here. But I do want to see this drop down as well. So that's for EURUSD. Not too sure what's going to happen because, like I said, it's just consolidating markets. So those are the two things that I want to see for sure. GBPUSD is next. All right, so GBPUSD is kind of the same play as right over here. I wanted to see what price come back up to this resistance, respect said resistance, and then drop down. But only issue that I have at this moment, 4 hours calling for the buy, and it does look like price is rejected off of this upper danger zone right here. So I do still want to see this drop, but the 4 hour, just the bands right here, they just look so small. It doesn't look that appealing on the indicator. But overall, I do want to see this still drop, break these lows, continue dropping back down to over here. That's what I want to see ultimately. But you obviously would want to see some type of, you want to wait and get some type of reaction at this 1.300 area, of course. All right, so that's for GBPUSD. I'm going to go on to AUDUSD. AUDUSD, just like all the other currency pairs, it's just, I mean, all the other USD pairs has just been consolidating. What I do, let this load up. There you go. What I do want to see is if it's good. Same thing with EURUSD, if it's going to respect right here before it starts to drop. I do personally think that AUDUSD is going to come up to these highs again before trying to drop low and retest down here before going bullish or anything like that. But I'm definitely not trying to trade AUDUSD right now. I do like how it's at the 4 hour upper danger zone on the indicator. So I'm watching to see how that plays out at first. But as of right now, I'm not even trying to sell it nor buy it. Would rather just, for the 4 hours, since it's calling this buy, if it does break through this upper day. It's not that many pips to get up back to these previous highs, realistically. It's only 50 pips. It's not that high. But if you want to, if it breaks through, then yeah, you could take that buy, take it up to 0.72450, and then look for sells up there. All right, that's for my throat is really dry right now. There you go. Let's go on to USDCHF. All right, so USDCHF, on my live, I had mentioned that if, and this is a big if I'm going to sell USDCHF, I need to see it break these lows, retest, and then keep going to the downside. That's only if I'm trying to sell USDCHF. But as of right now, I'm only looking for buys. So I don't even mind getting into a buy right here, right now, or even possibly getting into this entry down, which is like 25 to 30 pips lower, down here at 0.90665. So you could get into a buy with either one of those trades. And if that support does break, then that would be my time to be like, okay, I'm skedaddling out of here because I'm not trying to take an L on this trade. So that's for USDCHF. On the indicator, though, let's see what the 1 hour indicator looking like. It did call for a buy, and then it called for this sell right here. But again, I wouldn't mind trying to even buy right here. As you can see, it's been respecting in this lower danger zone. Only time I get out of the buy is if the lower danger zone gets broken or these lows right here get broken. Then I would get out and wait until most likely down over here. But like I said, I'm trying to buy it all the way up to 0.91674. And if I were to have a stop loss, it'd be like 0.90460 or lower than that, a little lower than that. All right, let's go ahead and go on to USDCAD. I'm still in this trade, still in this trade in profit, about 20 something pips in profit. Thing that I am really looking to see what happens is where price is currently at right now. Let this load up more. There you go. Okay, so like I mentioned, price is still down at this support down here. So that makes me be like, okay, price might just come back up to the resistance before trying to fall some more. So we can get into this buy trade. I am currently waiting to see this little level right here breakthrough for price to continue going to the upside, which I do believe it is because it broke and retested this mean line. So expecting this to keep pushing higher. Still in this trade, in good profits. On the live, we were like 20 something pips in profit, but now it's more like 30 pips. So yeah, just make sure your stop loss is at break even if you got into this trade, and we'll continue on from there. Let's go on to USDJPY. All right, so USDJPY, this is the setup that I think is going to play out. I was looking at it on the weekly time frame, and I was saying that I don't think that this is going to be selling any longer, but I could be wrong. So what I wanted to see was that this is a break retest. You can obviously see that this is a retest. Would it even mind if price came down a little lower to like 106.300 and then end up buying some more? That's kind of like what I'm seeing on USDJPY right now. So if you wanted to get into this buy, I would suggest waiting for price to come down here, see what it's going to do down at this 106.475, and then buy it up if you're looking to buy it. The 1 hour is definitely not saying that you should buy it, but that's just my opinion. Like if it comes down here and respects it, then why not get into the buy? USDCAD. I really don't know what's in my throat. Oh, I already went through USDCAD. Sorry. Went through USD pairs. Let's look at SPX 500. Oh, no. Let's look at Dow Jones first. Dow Jones Industrial. All right, so I had said with Dow Jones that I am watching this area where it's currently at. I kind of still do want to see price. I don't know why I didn't draw it out. I do want to see price come down, retest this previous support that it broke through, and then continue on to the upside, because it's from the looks of the other U.S. indices, these are all bullish, and like the S&P is the only one that hasn't came back to its previous all-time highs. So that's why I'm like, I think that this still has the opportunity to do that. It still has the opportunity to keep going higher. So I would want to see it come back down over here. And if it breaks through the support, then hey, maybe it'll come back down to these lows down as 26,910. But as of right now, that's not what my eyes are on, right? Let me show you guys the 4-hour time frame, which is why I actually do like to sell on this pair. So a 4-hour, boom, looks like it's setting up for that sell pretty nicely. But like I said, I want to see how it would handle this support right here before even trying to continue going down to the downside. If it breaks through here, then sure, you could take it down even more. But mostly, I'm trying to just take it from this current support it's at, and then sell it down here to then take it to the upside. That's how I'm looking at for the Dow Jones. SPX 500, it's the same thing. I had got it into this trade on Friday, but it hit my stop loss. And as you guys can see right there, but I'm still holding this same exact trade setup, because again, with just as the same as with SPX 500. Well, I mean, not SPX 500, just the same as US 30 looks on here. It looks like it's good for a sell. And the reason why I want to sell this even more is because look, prices came back up to its all-time highs that it had made back in back over here in February. It's back at this zone where it rejected off of it and went straight plummeted. So I'm looking for sells on SPX until this gets broken. When this gets broken, then I'm like, okay, I'll take my L in peace and I'll look for price for a bullish move. Like if it does something like this, breaks out, comes back, then could take it to the upside. Sure, I'll look for buys then. But until then, I'm still looking for sells on SPX 500. Okay, gold. Gold is my guy because it did what I wanted it to do. So last week I had mentioned up here that, okay, price, I think that is going to come back down, hit 1915, and then start going up. But it went way lower than that. It actually came down to 1875/1876. But I still want to see this come back down to 1915, which looks like exactly that's what it's doing, unless it respects at this level of support, and then pop up to the upside. That's what I'm looking at for gold. I did say that on the 1 hour, it already called for that. Like you can see here, and it rejected off of there. So if you were on the live, then you could have gone into that trade and gotten some profits. It is what it is. GA and EA. All right, so GA. On the analysis, I pointed out that this literally came and hit my stop loss. I had already gone out because of this alert. It told us to get out the trade, so I'm like, all right, let's get out the sell. But it came up here, which was my stop loss, then came back down. That always pisses me off. My entries around right here. I still honestly think that price will indeed come back down and retest this RSI line. Like such, I still have the same analysis for it to come down and then boost up to the upside. That's what I'm looking at for GA right now. But I want to see how it handles the support when it gets down here, because it came down here once, twice. Want to see if it comes down here again, respects it, or breaks through it. So that's for GA, Euro AUD, something very similar. But with Euro AUD, the difference is that it had already done what I wanted it to do, right? So with EA, it had already jumped up. It already called for the buy, came back down, retested off of this level, then jumped back up. But it's been respecting the peer. So I kind of still want to see the same thing. Want to see this drop down, then pop up. Kind of definitely want to see that. Well, not kind of, definitely. I do want to see that still happen with EA, and this is giving us a buy, but it's already, for this specific trade right here, it's already, for me personally, if I were to get in like up here, it's already hit its TP right here. But you could also take this as a TP2 or TP3, but I'm not trying to sell this. I'm going to wait and see what it wants to do. And that is for EA. Let's go to EURJPY. So EURJPY, I kind of want to see, I know that Cole, he kind of has this a very similar thing. And if you would have gone into this trade right here, like I'd mentioned, or whatever, if you say you're selling it up here, but if you would have gone into this trade, then you would be in some profits a little bit by now. But yes, I do have EURJPY. I wanted to come down back over here to 124.700 and see what it would do there. And I don't know what I just drew. So yeah, I kind of wanted to see what it's going to do right here. But I am bearish as of right now, especially since this is calling for the sell and it hasn't taken us out of this trade. So I know those who I call the sell on my live, and I'm like, yo, if you want to get in the sell right here, and until this breaks, don't get out. But yeah, that's for EURJPY. I did GBPJPY, and I believe that was the last of it. Yes. All right, cool. Awesome. So I did do GBPJPY. I did same thing as with the EURJPY. I kind of want to see it drop down here because it's respected at this level before. So we have right here as well, same thing. With the sell, it called, pop up, respected that RSI line. I still expect this to drop. So this is another trade that I called, and it would be now in profit if for those who were on it. I mean, who are on the live, this would not be in profit if you got in. And so, yeah, and I have my alert set for the pairs that I am looking at, which is EU, AU, and we're already, like I said, GJ already in the trade, already in profit. So let's get it. But yeah, that's it for the analysis. Again, guys, sorry for not recording the previous one, but this is just like a quick rundown so that you guys can be able to take a look at this one. Right, so it helps you guys out, and let's make some money out here.